Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Blackpack Homestead. Today on the homestead we're going to discuss meat rabbits and why you should do meat rabbits. Have you ever considered doing meat rabbits? Something to think about, guys. Breeding pair of rabbits will produce you between 200 and 300 pounds a year, all depending on how heavily you breed them, which I do not. I believe in ethical meat. I don't believe in running mills here on my homestead. I believe in self-sufficiency, and I know that people always have to make calls on to what they need and what is appropriate. So, tune in. We're talking meat rabbits today, guys. Meat rabbits are fun. They're loving, but you don't jump into something unless you know what you're getting into, guys. You know, meat has to come from somewhere, which means you're going to have to harvest your rabbits. I had somebody last night upset that maybe these guys were living in a cage, or rabbits. But here in western North Carolina we have a lot of predators, guys. That's something to think about. Like any other animal, we're part of a system, and the predators on that system have to eat too. And it's a sad fact that it happens. Why should you do meat rabbits? Well, during the winter time, production in eggs goes down. So people back in the day had to find an alternate source to that. And rabbits were the solution. They're total opposite of most animals. They struggle in the summer and they thrive in the winter time. No other animal really does that. Most herbivore type animals, they weaken during the winter time, and it is the predator's time to thrive. These animals are prey animals, so you always want your rabbits to come to you. You don't want to go chasing your rabbits down. When they're little, they're skittish. Love on them, pet them, handle them, do all the things you need to be doing come time for harvest time. But make no mistake, guys, unless you're raising these guys for poo or for pets, you don't want to do that here on the homestead. This is an operating homestead. I believe that everything here should be self-sufficient best it can. And I believe in ethical meat. Alright, all my rabbit tasks are done right now. These guys here, I don't want you all new viewers to be shocked when I tell you this, but these are my meat rabbits here. This is a working homestead. Things here, a lot of folks keep around for animal, for just pets, I suppose. But these guys here are meat rabbits. These are my breeders. They're not going anywhere. This is how this works for me. I have 6 in this area here. I have the 2 older breeders in the back, some of the newer breeders here in the front. These are all named animals. They have a name. They're staying with me. But if you ever see anything on this channel that refers to eating these little guys, don't be shocked. Meat has to come from somewhere, and contrary to what people do now with chicken, back in the day more people ate rabbit than they did chicken. And what really turned that around was industrialization of the chickens there. Incubation is a new process, believe it or not. The Egyptians did it a long time ago, but of course they had the environment to allow that. And I just want you guys to understand that these are my breeders, and their offspring will be consumed. And that's just how it is. It's something that a lot of people struggle with. You can eat every animal in the world, that runs the earth and flies the skies and swims in the ocean, but don't touch the bunny rabbits, guys. Why do rabbits? Well, of all the animals here on the homestead, these little rabbits, not little rabbits, but these guys here, they eat less and produce more than any animal here on the homestead, with probably exception to quail. Quail is a close one, guys. I can't say that there is one's better than the other, but normally this time of year, these guys in the wild, my quail, will be phasing out. and these guys are taking off. That's how people used to do it back in the day. I mean, Germans ate Hassenpfeffer, guys. Hassenpfeffer. If you know what cartoon that was mentioned on, let me know. You get 5 imaginary points for that. Give you a view of them. Hey, buddy. What you doing, buddy? What you doing, buddy? You good boy. Quicksilver here is the oldest of our rabbits. She's probably 3 or so now. She's getting to the point where I'll probably have to rehome her or keep her around for her poo. Guinevere here is what I'd have to say is probably our best rabbit. Only in the way of attitude. Come time to raise these little guys and have babies, Quicksilver is definitely the best. But in the way of personality, this rabbit here is loving. I trust this rabbit more than any rabbit in there. Yes, I do. These aren't little house rabbits that run around inside your house. These guys here are specifically bred for what they do, for meat and fur purposes. These are silver fox variety here because back in the day it was fashionable for women to wear fur, and instead of hunting the foxes down, they found an alternative. There was a nice man out in Ohio that wanted to develop his own breed, and he was very secretive about his breeding process. They believe certain rabbits were used in the process, such as the d'Argent, but these guys here, they'll spit out all sorts of varieties, anything from black to silver to brown to purple to some of these, more lavender lilac colors. Silver, we've got some silver ones and some real purple ones. So yeah, I mean, you never know what you're going to get with rabbit genetics. These guys here were bred for size and for fur. Now, in the way of care and maintenance, they do take more time than some of the other animals on the homestead. And there's a reason that it is, I think, is because, you got to open your cages and take care of them individually. But with these guys, you can colonize them. I just don't have any experience with that. If I had enough land to do it, I would be more than willing to try. But there is predators here in western North Carolina that we have to deal with. Probably a lot of city folk aren't used to having bears roll up on you, or some hawks attacking your stuff. But I had some hawk attacks the other day. Thus my quail is no longer outside. They are an inside area here. Maintenance and care with these guys is simple and easy. You just food them up, water them up. Like I said, they do take more time than probably other animals, but because I feel obligated to get in there and pet on them and love on them. You can't not, guys. I try to provide the best life we can for our animals here on this homestead, because what I feed them now and take care of them now, they'll be feeding and taking care of me later. If you guys are anti-meat eaters, you're probably in the wrong place, because I like to have my meat source. I've seen a lot of these survivalist shows, guys. You know what I'm talking about. You watch the survivalist shows where these guys go out there, and one in particular probably doesn't eat meat, but they'll eat the veggies, and they just tend not to do as well to do that. I understand that people, maybe for dietary reasons, do that, and that's good. And it's good to fast every now and then from something, guys. So why raise rabbits? Why raise rabbits, guys? Why would you guys raise rabbits? Have you ever even considered raising rabbits? At least in these areas when I was growing up, they probably had ag culture and 4-H and all that. Raise rabbits, guys. During World War II, they were really pushing for people to start growing their own rabbits again, as chicken industrialization took place because of the benefits of raising rabbits. These guys here, with chickens you get your eggs, you get your feathers, you get your meat. With the rabbits here, you do the same, except you get your furs, and that's a nice benefit in itself. I'm telling you guys, it's super warm, and it's a lot of work, but when it's all said and done, you got a nice pelt going on for you. So here in the next day or two, maybe I'll do an episode on doing some more pelts. I probably got another 12 to 15 to go maybe. I've never really calculated how many rabbits I've generated. This is a wonderful time of year for my rabbits. They love it. 68 degrees is a little warm for afternoon times with these rabbits. You got to really watch it, guys. Anything about 70 is getting hot for them, for getting, you know, heat stroke. 80 and above is danger, danger, danger zone. Do not let your rabbits ever get above 80 degrees. These guys are shaded. My tarp and my setup is strategically placed to follow the sun. And this is the one thing that people need to understand when you start homesteading and doing all the things you want to do on your homestead. Look how the sun rises. Look how the sun sets. Look where it's going. These guys are never in direct sun, but now this time of year there's no leaves on my trees, and you got to think about how your sun sets and rises. These guys will get dappled sun. The ones in the front will not get too much of anything, but like I said, with rabbits you don't want to get them in the sun. You want to be able to have them where they can lay in the sun and enjoy it, but you don't want full sun for these guys. They don't handle it well at all. They like the cold. They are cold lovers. Nesting boxes are in right now. You may wonder how bunny rabbits have their bunnies out in the wild. They dig little dips in the yard and they cover them. You may not even notice them when you're out mowing your yard. You got to be very careful, guys, because you just don't know. You know, you could be mowing your yard, mowing right over them, you just don't even see them. The mothers are generally not loving mothers in the fact that they will come and hang out with their babies and all that stuff. They will go to their nest, they'll take care of them, feed their babies, and then they're off again. And the reasoning behind that is they don't want to draw attention to the nest. These guys here, they raise really fast. I've done both, harvested at 16 weeks and harvested about 12 weeks, and there really is not much of a difference between the two. You probably get that out of your Cornish cross varieties. For those folks that think that's a short life, it is for, you know, a particular animal. But if you wait any longer than that, guys, at 16 weeks these guys are breeding themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to keep them next to each other when they start to get to that age. Weird things happen, dominance issues and that kind of stuff, and it's just not worth dealing with for that last 4-week period. Sometimes it's okay, I get that. I mean, it runs good, but there's other times where I had cage fighters, guys, cage fighters, and I had to separate these guys out. Things weren't working out like they normally will. So I recommend personally to harvest at 12 weeks. You won't have to deal with that mess. You're not losing that much in the way of size, because like I said, these guys breed like rabbits. If you were to leave a breeding pair to their own, just leave them off on their own, no predators, nothing, and let nature take its course, you will have 50,000 rabbits in the end of the year. That is the estimated difference there. In fact, I think Australia is having problems with them right now because they've gotten out and they're eating everything. But these guys here live a good life. I do the best I can for them. Good forage, good, you know, everything. Good fresh water. I love them to get the outside. What rabbit gets the outside, you know? So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Blackpack Homestead. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again here at the Blackpack Homestead. God bless. Bye-bye.